Hey guys, it's me, the Blue Guy, back at it with your regularly scheduled video. What amazing FNAF topic will I talk about today? I'm so glad you didn't ask. Top 10 hottest FNAF animatronics. Freddy, is that you? You aren't whoring. Who are you?
How pathetic. I thought I'd be a lot smarter even in this realm.
What? Come on, man. Can you just turn on the lights?
Oh, sure.
Thanks, man.
Yes, be amazed by me, the Red Dude. Your super hardcore edgy rival here to steal the show.
What?
With what you wonder? I'm so glad you didn't ask. My world's version of Five Nights at Freddy's called Garten of BanBan.
I don't have a choice, do I?
I guess you do, but I'm choosing to disregard your say in the matter. All in favor of the Blue Guy reviewing Garten of BanBan say aye. Aye! Well, that settles it. You got 4 games to review, chop chop.
Okay, Mom. Eh. Garten of BanBan was released on January 6, 2023 by the Europhobic brothers Fairy and Jeppo. Now, this isn't their first rodeo with game making, as they have a track record of all sorts of games. Garten of BanBan was the one that really took off, though faced a ton of backlash with how desperate it looked on the surface to be another successful mascot horror game like FNAF or Poppy Playtime. Plus, well, judging by the footage, you can tell it's not really pleasing to the eye. What about the game itself though? What if past the pre-made Unity assets and questionable character design is an actual decent experience? Well, let's start at the beginning where you first enter BanBan's kindergarten as you, a mother, are here to pick up your kid and for some reason think the best way to do that is by picking up a toy drone. The drone is the main thing you'll use throughout these games, as we'll soon see. I like how there's this one part in the developer video that goes,
"A unique mechanic was needed to make the game stand out. Something that would help the player progress through the game and not be a burden or an annoyance."
Yet I've never seen anyone once talk about anything remotely positive about the drone. And I'm no different, folks, as I despise this little shit. It's slow to cool down for the sake of being slow. It actively feels like a burden. It's just a button, let me stop the thing. Oh wait, no, it's actually a sensor pad. Yeah, okay, I guess the kindergarten lives or dies based off a drone having AA batteries in it. After entering the creative area, you're brought to a playground section of the map, which, credit where credit is due, is actually pretty unsettling at first, especially with this little fella right here. Ophelia Bird is the first enemy you come across, needing to feed her 6 eggs in order to progress. Once doing that, you're able to enter the ball pit room in which, oh, there's no balls here. Anyways, the next puzzle strikes fear in all members of the colorblind community as you press the buttons to match the color of each characters, which I'll also say I thought was neat, rewarding those who were paying attention to the designs of the monsters on the wall. What's that, you ask? You want me to complain?
Nobody asked though.
This part where Ophelia comes in is just a little silly to me. I 100% understand what the creators were trying to do here, basically only chasing you once she feels your prey, but in practice it looks a little silly just to have that thing stare at you all like, "Oh hey, you didn't beat the puzzle? Don't worry, I'll just wait." If they wanted to create that sense of you being her prey, then I suggest making the bird walk slowly to you, like in a hunt sort of way, where if you run or look away, it dashes towards you, instantly jump scaring you. So when this platform section comes up, you practically have to walk backwards while looking at the bird as it slowly makes its way towards you, but you have to turn around once in a while for a short period of time to know where to go. That would actually create a tense section where the only way to beat it is to keep your cool and not run in fear. Once pressing the emergency button, the bird suffers throat problems for the rest of her life, then off to the elevator, where Jumbo Josh decides to pop up to say hi before the elevator falls to wherever the second game starts. Overall, for a free demo, it's fine. I didn't find myself hating the puzzles, plus the map design was decent for what was required for you to do in them.
See, you're already loving this game. Maybe one day you'll come out as cool as me, my little blueberry. Not edgy though. No one is as edgy as me.
Yeah, cool man, whatever you say. Released on March 3rd, just 2 months after the first, it's Garten of BanBan 2. It sure is that. This picks up right where the last one left off, with Jumbo Josh staying on the floor wondering what it smells like while we gather our items and make our way into something I swear I saw in Gmod once. Later on, we meet this mysterious man. Alright, it's BanBan. You know it's BanBan. You've played the game. Or probably just watch Markiplier play it.
Was that the
We ask for our help, in which we go downstairs to retrieve a keycard to help free him. This is the part where I feel to mention the voice acting, which I mean, it's just 2 brothers making a game, so like I can't be too hard on it for what it is. That being not good, the next section I feel is actually a good part of the game, as once you grab the keycard, you meet Nab, who crawls on the ceiling chasing you, and now you have to make your way back following the blue arrows and going in the opposite direction of the pink arrows. But once you escape, something happens to Nab. What happens? I don't know. Something falls over and he's just gone. It's not even in a scary type of way, like a, ooh, where did he go? More of a, did the game bug, or was that really meant to happen like that? Once leaving with the keycard, we enter the blue room, which BanBan knocks us. Bro really think he saved me, Lawrence. We wake up in a hospital and do stuff that didn't really leave an impact. I just found all this to be okay. I don't really have much to say on it. What I would like to get to though is this part of the map you go to afterwards. This long hallway with colored waves is really well done in terms of making sense within a kindergarten, but also creating that unsettling vibe with how empty it all is. It all quickly falls apart when entering the room at the end with a Pelia bird chasing you, then getting saved by somebody's, hear me out, Bantalina.
Please?
No! Like I said, this is where it all falls apart with the school section. Bantalina is the teacher and you make your way through a normal school day. I hope you find this to be fun because you'll be doing this 3 times where you make other students answer her questions then completing tasks during recess, because I didn't. At least after the 3rd time, Bantalina leaves to go check out the noise with her default walk cycle, allowing us to escape the room into another terrible part of the game. You grab the baby chickens and bring them all the way back to their nest. This is just plain old bad gameplay with tedious work for the sake of tedious work. I'll give it props though, as the next part of the game introduces Slow Sign, a character that I found unsettling mixed with the gameplay of you having to walk backwards to the correct door while she is distracted looking into other rooms, but also making sure to stay still when her eyes are straight. Her voice actress is also the best in the game, which I know isn't saying much compared to the rest, but I gotta give credit when the game does something right. This praise I'm giving won't last long though, with the next section of the game being a cannon mini game where you shoot the glowing sensors over and over again. It's just doing the same thing over and over and over. I don't understand these developers' mindset of making the player doing the same thing over and over again as if it was fun the first time, much less up to 6 times. Afterwards, the game decides to throw in a parkour section because, well, the chapter is almost over, so why not at this point? There's really nothing to say here. Dare I say it's a fine section that goes on for too long. We meet up with BanBan, who apologizes for earlier when hitting us. Aw, how sweet, here's a star. He explains he's gonna help us look for our kids, then warns that it's almost assembly time, where all the doors open, meaning the monsters will show up, soon leading to a chase sequence to Jumbo Josh and Bantalina. This is also another positive, as I think it's pretty fun with Jumbo Josh crashing through the doors, plus near the end, where you have to learn Bantalina on the X to have happen. It's so satisfying to watch her go, as she made me literally sit through a boring part of the game. In the end, this one was bad with the repetitive gameplay. Honestly though, had they trimmed the tedious sections of the school, bird, and cannon, I think this could have at least been decent in my book. It's not though. It's just plain old bad. Not even in a funny way, just bad.
Oh, my little blueberry, I'm sure you'll come around. I just know you'll fall in love with the lore and it's—
I don't care for the lore.
Don't you dare interrupt me during my time to talk!
Yes, ma'am. Two months after the sequel, on May 5th, Garten of BanBan 3 was released, and oh my Jumbo Josh! This is where I lost it. The creators have made something horrifically bad and was so terrible, it made me procrastinate on this section of the video. I don't want to talk about this any longer than I have to. So, after getting off the elevator and being shown my weird uncle, this chapter really starting with the introduction of Stinger Flynn, also known as Somebody's Hear Me Out.
Please?
No! Wait, what? Anyways, once he wakes up, he takes you to the beach. And judging by my tone, I hope you're all able to detect that this is the most normal thing he does in this chapter, and that it gets worse. How worse? Well, now we're playing as him, waking up in— yeah! Alright, the greatest part of chapter 2. Yeah. Just make me do what I literally did the last game because it was super fun the first time. Granted, it's a little better since he controls differently from the normal player, but that really shouldn't be a positive, as it's the equivalent of adding sparkle to shit. It's still shit at the end of the day. after what I assume was a flashback sequence, we're suddenly in Toaster's jail, where you have to pick up buckets, criminals, and put them in jail in order to get a blue key card, which activates a light trail game. Basically follow the light path, press the button at the end, which opens the exit to the room, where once you leave you are sent on a quest by BanBan to get Nab some bitches in order to keep him from attacking you. So off we go to the medical center to finish what these guys started, Nabelina, who was partially made to test the theory that she could help Nab cope with his laziness. Wait, what? It was made partially to test the theory that she could help Nab cope with his loneliness. This is where we come in to finish what was started in a section of the game that exist. You do things. Things that I don't feel like I'm accomplishing anything, but the game says it is. Changing all these pipes to green, I assume? Pressing these buttons. It's sections like these where I remember how much I hate the drill when it just doesn't press the button even though I dragged it there! It's all fine though when seeing the two finally together. Young love, it's just, it's so beautiful. Well played, Garten of BanBan. You got me tearing. Oh my! No! What am I supposed to say about this part that happens afterwards? You wake up in a car with these guys, driving in the desert. Why did we let this game get popular? You can't really even blame the game itself though, because it only got popular because of YouTubers, myself included, giving the thing attention. You know what? Screw this game and screw this site.
Maybe you shouldn't say anything bad about the network.
What are they gonna do? Cut our budget?
Your pathetic mouth utters another infuriating sentence. I will stuff your whole body in one of those.
So after more uninteresting, wait, let me get this thing off me. So after more uninteresting button pressing gameplay, we wake up in Jumbo Josh's watch room where we have to make an escape while making sure everything in the room stays the same when he shows up. This is the only part of the game I actually found myself enjoying, as the concept of Jumbo drawing near while needing to put everything back while running to your position was actually pretty fun. Eventually we escape with Bantalina, but her default Unity walks back to her classroom, leaving us to get to the next section of the game being a boss fight, which is right here. Wait, no, right here. Wait, no, right here. Wait, no, right here. What was with this part? If this isn't padding, I don't know what is. The boss fight you win by pressing buttons with this drone to get the fireworks that you feed to said monster to get a party hat. This section also reminds me of why I hate the drone, because it's 50-50 if it's gonna be nice to you and hit the damn button, which now in this section is made 10 times worse since you're always meant to be on the run with the thing firing at you. Like I said, you get a party hat for Mr. Kabob to use as a distraction for the tarda bird. What is with these names? You want better question? Why does a robot need hats to work? You know what? I don't care at this point. I don't care. We push the thing here. Wait, no, we push it here. We push it here. We push it here. Okay, this is padding. I can forgive everything. Every single thing wrong with this series if this section didn't exist. This right here is the one that broke me. This is just adding extra playtime to the game for absolutely no reason whatsoever. But it doesn't matter since we're near the end. Since when we use the robot to distract the bird, we're now riding him, leading to a section where we have to control the speed of the bird to outrun Hellish, who is just like emo BanBan, I guess. I don't know. Eventually, we make it home free with the chapter ending showing all the characters fighting each other as we go down an elevator with the baby bird. What a shit show. This is absolutely the worst of all these games with its unremarkable gameplay, unnecessary padding, and a mess of tone with those weird dream sequence or whatever you want to call them mesh with it still trying to be horror. I dread playing the next one as the quality for each chapter so far has shown a decrease. But then again, I seriously doubt it can be even remotely a quarter of the painful shit show that was Garten of BanBan 3.
Oh, you're so pathetic. Getting butthurt over an indie game?
Why are you still here? Actually, as a matter of fact, what are you doing here at all? I never invited you! Released on August 11th, now 3 months after the previous installment instead of the usual 2, does this manage to show a quality boost? Well, I can't tell if it was from how bad the last one was or something, but I actually found this to be the best one of all the chapters. It starts with you picking up the baby chick that followed you at the end of the last chapter, then hits you with a chase sequence right away as you step off the elevator. It actually got a pretty good jump on me, but does become pretty anticlimactic when you realize how slow it is. Eventually you solve some basic puzzles with the baby chick until... Bro, you ain't Sammy Lawrence, calm down. And this is where we meet Sheriff Toadster, which brings me to my next positive, being how the voice acting for not only him, but all the characters we meet are very welcome improvement for what we've been hearing so far in the games. Sheriff Toadster interrogates us with what we know, bringing us to the ruler of the kingdom, Queen Bountula, who sends both us and the sheriff to find missing parts to fix the broken elevator. The baby chick from earlier even shows up again, and what follows isn't half bad with the gimmick of needing to pick up said chick and using it for standing on buttons. We meet a jester as a result of opening the door, whose introduction I enjoyed, plus a small chase sequence, but this jester has no matches. He gets toasted. And we go into the next room where we use the baby chick to sense danger up ahead. This part I also enjoyed and was 100% expecting them to make me do that backwards once grabbing what I needed at the end of the hall, but no, that's not what happens. You're allowed to just go back. No padding whatsoever. After returning to the kingdom with the part, we catch up with BanBan and his emo story. I'm sure someone cares about. Not me though. We also catch up with Stinger Flynn, leading to one of the funniest moments in the game, in which one of those dream sequence happens again, where you wake up and you're all sharing vegetables together, but ran out and you couldn't get any yourself. Then there's just a pause where Nab Nab hands you in the most slowest and awkwardest way possible. It just it just gets better. Soon, a train sound is heard from the distance, and it's Choo Choo Charles, who is a character from a completely other different horror game. He just shows up. Why? I don't know, but the train and Nab Nab bond over the fact that they're spiders, and it just ends with an explosion. I don't know what any of that was, but I loved every second of it. Now we meet up with BanBan, where we go to the next section of the game to find other pieces that contains a creative way to use the drone. I wish the X didn't give away exactly what to do though, but it's at least different from the norm, so I can appreciate that. Nab Nab comes around stealing something of ours that leads us to needing to chase him, incorporating a parkour section that is an improvement over the second chapter where it was just there because, and you could take your sweet time. This one though, you have to run as fast as possible since you're hunting down Nab Nab. Once catching up in BanBan's emo side coming out doing questionable stuff, we're off with the next piece of the elevator, leading to one more part of the game where the only way to progress is to go through 3 rooms. The first one is to spot the difference, the second being a boss fight with, okay, you know what, not everything in this chapter is a winner. Then lastly collecting 8 crystals, all eventually leading to the final piece for the elevator that brings you back to the kingdom. However, when we show up, the jester's there and the bird goes from a small fella to a huge bitch. Afterwards, the jester attempts to make the kangaroo laugh, which earlier was explained something no one was allowed to do, as when happens, it releases the naughty ones, as the game puts it. We have one final chase sequence with the jester after us, but we're able to escape, closing this chapter off. Honestly, this chapter, for Garten of BanBan standards, was good. Going into this video, I was hoping I'd enjoy all the chapters to some extent, though that clearly isn't what happened. Yes, I said nice things about chapter 4, but that was for this game standards, and overall it is decent at best. I wouldn't say it's worth the sudden price jump of $10 instead of the usual $5, as it's still the same length as the other chapters and nothing fundamental about the gameplay has been improved. As a whole, Garten of BanBan isn't really good, though nowhere to the point of harassing the creators over it. But what if I said there was a way to save the series? Those weird dream sequences should just be embraced. In this day and age where all indie horror games try to make you invested with its world and characters, Garten of BanBan could make for an excellent satire. Though, I'm not holding my breath for the developers to actually lean into more comedy horror. Like I said earlier, Garten of BanBan, to no one's surprise, sucks.
What? No, this can't be. You were supposed to call the whole series good.
What?
You liked one, that must have mean you enjoyed the whole thing.
Well, I said I found the 4th one to be decent at best, and it's good for the game standards. I still wouldn't call the series worth buying and checking out, but am happy that there at least was an improvement by the end.
That's not good enough. You will learn to love this game.
You know what? I'm tired of you pushing me around. It's time I do something I should have done a long time ago.
What? What did you do?